every Spider-Man movie villain, and exactly how each one was defeated. 12 villains, 3 Spider-Man movies only. Let's go. Number 1. The Green Goblin. Norman Osborn on a rocket glider, defeated in the end by his very own machine. High above the city, a cackling monster in green armor swoops in on a bat-winged glider. He throws a glowing pumpkin bomb and makes Spider-Man pick a circumflex euros, save the woman he loves, or a tram full of children. This is the Green Goblin. But under that snarling mask is Norman Osborn, a rich inventor and the father of Peter's best friend. To win a big deal, Norman tested a powerful chemical on himself. It made him super strong, but it also cracked his mind and set loose a wild, laughing goblin. Riding his glider, the goblin scares all of New York. He wants Spider-Man to join him. When Peter says no, the goblin figures out that Peter is Spider-Man and goes after the people Peter cares about most. In a wrecked old building, the two battle hard. Secretly, the goblin orders his glider to charge straight at Peter. But Spider-Man's spider sense warns him, and he leaps aside just in time. The glider zooms past and catches the goblin instead. His own sneaky trick had beaten him. That is how the Green Goblin fell in the very first Spider-Man movie, starring Tobey Maguire a circumflex euros, stopped by the very glider he tried to use on his best friend's son. Number 2. Dr. Octopus. 4 metal arms took over his mind until he took back control and sank his machine to save the city. 4 giant metal arms burst from his coat, each one snapping like a claw. This villain had a secret nobody expected. In the end, he wasn't beaten by Spider-Man at all. He beat himself. Meet Dr. Otto Octavius, a brilliant scientist and one of Peter Parker's heroes. To show off a new machine, he strapped on 4 smart metal arms. But the experiment went wrong and hurt him badly. The arms took over his mind and pushed him to do bad things. Now the tentacles were in charge. Otto robbed banks and built a huge, dangerous machine. He and Spider-Man crashed together all over the city, even fighting on top of a speeding train. At the machine, Spider-Man did something surprising. He took off his mask and showed Otto his face, reminding the real scientist who he was. Otto woke up and felt sorry for everything. To save the whole city, he used his 4 arms to drag his roaring machine down into the river and shut it off for good. So the villain became a hero. That was Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Number 3. Sandman. A man turned into living sand and the one villain Spider-Man chose to forgive. A giant made of sand rises over the street, swinging fists as big as cars. But here's the twist, a circumflex euros. This villain wasn't punched out or locked away. He was simply forgiven and blew away in the wind. Meet Flint Marco, a small-time crook who only wanted money to help his sick little girl. Running from the police, he tumbles into a science machine mid-experiment. The sand around him swirls up, wraps his body, and remakes him as a shape-shifting Sandman. At first he can barely hold his own shape, but soon he learns to grow huge and turn his arms into giant hammers. He robs armored trucks and clashes with Spider-Man again and again. Later, teamed up with Venom, he swells into a towering sand monster. Spider-Man spots his weakness, a circumflex euros, water. Earlier, in a flooded subway, a rush of water turned Sandman into helpless mud. In the big finale, Spidey battles the giant, dodging, swinging sand fists high above the street. But there's no final blow. Sandman explains that Uncle Ben's death was a scared accident, not on purpose. Peter forgives him, and Sandman gently crumbles into sand and drifts away on the wind. This was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3. Number 4. Venom. A black alien suit and a jealous rival, beaten by loud sound and a small bomb. Meet the scariest Spider-Man villain of all, a circumflex euros, a glossy black creature with a white spider on its chest, huge jagged eyes, and a wide grin of sharp white teeth. He looks just like Spider-Man's evil twin. His name is Venom. But he didn't start as a monster. A black alien goo fell to Earth and stuck to Peter first. It turned his suit black and made him angry and mean. High in a church bell tower, Peter tore it off a circumflex euros, and it dripped down onto Eddie Brock, a jealous photographer who hated him. The goo bonded with Eddie's anger and became Venom. Venom knew Peter's biggest secret, that he was Spider-Man. Teaming up with the giant Sandman, he grabbed Peter's girlfriend Mary Jane and trapped her high on a web, daring Spider-Man to come and save her. In the huge construction site battle, Peter learned the alien's weakness, a circumflex euros. It hates loud noise. He grabbed metal pipes and banged them together again and again. The ringing sound shook the goo loose, and it screeched right off Eddie's body. Peter tossed a pumpkin bomb at the helpless goo. In one bright flash, the symbiote was destroyed. That was the end of Venom, a circumflex euros, in Spider-Man 3, the last film with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Number 5. The new Goblin, Harry Osborn, Peter's best friend who turned good and saved him in the final fight. Here is a villain who was never beaten by Spider-Man. Instead, he saved him. Meet the new Goblin, zooming through the city on a silver flying board, a sword on his wrist. He is Harry Osborn, Peter Parker's very best friend. But Harry believes Spider-Man hurt his father. Full of anger, he finds his dad's hidden goblin armor and a strange green gas that makes him strong, and he suits up for revenge. Harry hunts Peter through the sky. Their gliders twist and dive between the buildings as blades clash. A hard crash knocks the memories right out of Harry's head. When they come rushing back, he turns cold and frightens both Peter and Mary Jane. Then two bigger monsters appear. The sandy giant and the black and white Venom grab Mary Jane and trap Spider-Man high on a construction site. Harry finally learns the truth, forgives his friend, and rockets in to fight beside him. Working together, the two friends battle back. When Venom swings his sharp glider straight at Peter, Harry throws himself in the way and blocks it, taking the hit to save his best friend. Badly hurt, he smiles, and their friendship is finally healed. This was Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Number 6. The Lizard, a scientist who became a giant reptile cured by his very own antidote. This scaly green giant had a wild plan. He wanted to turn every single person in the whole city into a lizard, just like him. Meet the Lizard. He was really Dr. Kurt Connors, a kind scientist with only one arm. He wished his arm would grow back. So he made a special medicine from lizard powers and tried it on himself. His arm did grow back, but he also grew a tail, sharp claws, and green scales, and turned into a huge, angry reptile. Soon the lizard was smashing through the streets and hiding in the dark sewers. Spider-Man swung in to stop him. They chased and wrestled, but the lizard was too strong, and he climbed a tall tower carrying a giant machine. That machine would spray a green cloud to change everyone below into lizards. Peter's friend Gwen quickly mixed up a cure. A brave police officer held the monster back just long enough. Spider-Man reached the top, swapped the cloud for the cure, and let it float over the whole city. Slowly the lizard shrank down and turned back into plain Dr. Connors, who was taken away by the police. This was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, in The Amazing Spider-Man. Number 7. Electro, a man made of pure electricity, overloaded when he took in far too much power. This villain could grab lightning right out of the wires. He glowed bright blue and threw sparks like a storm. But the hero who stopped him did it in a way nobody saw coming. Meet Max Dillon, a quiet man who fixed wires at Oscorp. Nobody ever noticed him a circumflex euros until Spider-Man saved his life, and Max cheered for him. Then one night, Max slipped into a tank of electric eels and was zapped. He climbed out changed, a living man made of electricity. Confused and lonely, Max wandered into Times Square, glowing and scared. Spider-Man tried to calm him, but when the crowd screamed and the police fired, Max felt tricked. His hero had let him down, and now he wanted revenge. Max teamed up with rich Harry Osborn and switched off every light in New York. At the giant power plant, he grew brighter and stronger, soaking up all the sparks he could find. Spider-Man raced in, and his friend Gwen came to help. Then Spidey used Max's own hunger against him. Gwen set the machines to pour in more power than Max could hold. He swelled, glowed white-hot, and burst apart like a blown fuse. His storm was over a circumflex euros. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, this was Andrew Garfield's hero. Number 8. Harry Osborn's Green Goblin, stopped by Spider-Man and locked away. High above the city, a monster rides a screaming metal glider. His skin is cracked and green, his teeth are jagged, and he is hunting the one hero who let him down. This is the Green Goblin. But he wasn't always a monster. He was Harry Osborn, Peter Parker's oldest friend, and the young boss of a big company called Oscorp. Harry got very sick, and in a desperate moment he made a terrible choice. He gave himself a spider serum and locked into a powerful goblin suit that twisted him into a monster. The suit made Harry stronger but angrier too. When he found out that his friend Peter was secretly Spider-Man, he felt betrayed. He roared onto his glider, tossed his pumpkin bombs, and chased Spider-Man all the way up a giant clock tower. High in the gears, the two friends fought. The goblin swooped and swung, but Spider-Man dodged every blow, ducked the spinning glider, and finally pinned the goblin with his sticky webs. The machine went quiet. The goblin was stopped and locked away in a special prison called Ravencroft. This was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, in the movie The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Number 9. The Rhino. A crook inside a giant rhino machine halted right in the middle of the street. A giant gray machine shaped like a rhinoceros comes crashing down the street. Its horn is lowered, its cannons spin, and everyone runs. But the strangest part, the hero who stops it is not who you think. Inside sits Alexei, a tough criminal Spider-Man had already caught once for trying to steal a big truck. This time someone broke him out of prison and gave him a powerful mechanical rhino suit built by the Oscorp company. Now he is stomping through the city. The metal rhino smashes cars aside and rumbles down the middle of the road. People scatter as the horn swings back and forth. Alexei is sure nobody can stop a machine this big. Then one tiny hero steps out. A little boy in a homemade Spider-Man costume plants his feet and refuses to move. He raises his fists at the giant machine, standing tall while the whole street holds its breath. That is when the real Spider-Man drops down in front of him, red and blue, ready to protect everyone. The movie cuts away right there, before the fight even begins. This brave cliffhanger ends The Amazing Spider-Man 2, with Andrew Garfield swinging back to save the day. Number 10. The Vulture. A scrapyard boss with metal wings, and Spider-Man even saved him from his own crash. This villain was beaten in a way you would never expect. Spider-Man did not knock him out. Spider-Man saved his life. Meet the Vulture, a man with giant metal wings who swooped out of the night sky. His real name is Adrian Toomes. He ran a cleanup crew, collecting leftover alien parts after a battle in New York. But the government pushed his company out and took his job. Angry, he kept the alien tech and built a powerful flying wingsuit. He started selling those dangerous alien weapons in secret. Spider-Man kept crashing his deals. Then came a twist. The Vulture was the father of Liz, the girl Peter liked. On a quiet car ride, Toomes realized Peter was Spider-Man. For his biggest job, Toomes went after a Stark cargo plane full of hero gear. Spider-Man chased him to a moonlit beach. While they fought, Peter did something clever. He quietly shot sticky webs all over the Vulture's wings, jamming the machine without Toomes noticing. When Toomes fired up his wings to attack, the damaged suit overloaded and blew apart. But Spider-Man did not leave him. He dove into the flames and pulled Toomes to safety. The Vulture was arrested, but he kept Peter's secret. This was Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Number 11. The Shocker. Gauntlets that blast shockwaves webbed up in the middle of the fight. A glowing gold glove punches the air, and a wave of force sends Spider-Man flying across the street. Meet the Shocker. But here's the twist: a circumflex euros. The Shocker has no powers at all. He's just a regular helper for the bad guys. The gold glove does everything. It's built from bits of alien tech, and it fires a burst of air so strong it knocks people flying. 2 different men wear it, and the name passes to whoever holds the glove. Herman works for the Vulture, a sneaky villain who steals alien weapons. When Spider-Man gets too close, the Shocker chases him down. Outside Peter's school, he blasts, and Spider-Man has to leap and dodge every wave of air. But Spider-Man has a secret helper of his own, a circumflex euros, his best friend Ned. Together they set a trap. Spider-Man zips around the Shocker, sticks him to the ground with web after web, and the big gold glove goes quiet. The henchman is caught, tangled up tight and out of the fight. That was the Shocker from Spider-Man: Homecoming, a circumflex euros, beaten not by strength but by smarts, in Tom Holland's Spider-Man movie. Number 12. Mysterio. A fake hero made of tricks and illusions, undone when his own trick turned against him. Everyone thought he was the greatest hero ever. A caped stranger who blasted giant monsters and saved cities. People cheered, but all of it was fake. His name is Quentin Beck, and he has no powers at all. He once built special effects for Tony Stark, then got fired and turned angry. He gathered other upset workers and a swarm of drones that paint giant fake monsters in the sky, so he can pretend to fight them and look like a hero. Beck pretended to be a kind, sad hero, and he fooled Spider-Man. This was Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the movie Spider-Man: Far From Home. Peter handed him Stark's magic glasses that control the drones. Then Beck built a giant fake monster over London. Beck filled the air with spinning tricks, hundreds of copies everywhere. Peter could not tell what was real, so he closed his eyes and trusted his spider sense, the tingle that warns him of real danger. The fakes melted away, and he found the one real Beck. Spider-Man wrecked the drones and grabbed the glasses back. Then one of Beck's own machines misfired and brought him down. His whole fake show fell apart. The lesson: do not believe every flashy show. Trust what is real.